Down by the lot near the old cafe, where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and they're drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's a parking crew and they're riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks skill? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams, salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes from a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Fight them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this lie here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
They come to our shores with a suitcase dream, chasing the glow of that golden beam. From far off lands where shadows lie, here they find a brighter sky. Every step, every mile, they're reaching for the American style. The grass is green in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. Factories hum with a steady grace, ideas born in this boundless space. A light bulb flash, a towering steel in every corner. The promise feels real. From the ground to the stars, we're built on dreams, we're raising bars. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener
Well, good evening, folks, and there it is right there. So Leslie Wilson has stated the obvious, which I've cautioned people for months. They don't listen to me, and that's fine. You get yourself in a tizzy by, not listening to me. That's your own fault. What Leslie's pointing out is that a lot of panic in the WhatsApp groups. Yeah, what did I say? Abandon WhatsApp groups. Stay away from them. They're toxic. There are people there intentionally trying to mislead you. It's, you do what you want to do, but don't come, screaming when you're panicking. There's no reason to panic. What the U.S. government has owed the public for 10 months is finally available. February 7th, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's nearly November, nearly 9 months since this program was announced. We're just a week short of 9 months, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, the clarity that we've been seeking since February 7th has come into the fore. The good news for Chris Wyatt is that much of what I told you from the very beginning is true. There are some minor changes here, some of which appear to have occurred as the program has advanced. Some of the things like, for instance, I told you that it appears that they were now taking children up to the age of 21 who weren't married in a family. They're considered adults, and normally that wouldn't be the case, but this is the case with this program. Also, I told you your parents have to put a statement of interest, but then people told me anecdotally the parents went with them. But of course, what happened is that their case was also processed, and that's why they went with them. But the bottom line is that parents are not part of your family. You may think they are, but they're not. Your nuclear family is your spouse, your children, and so on. Anyway, so folks need to chill, take a deep breath, calm down, and feel free to share my content with people because the shadow bang has really become oppressive now. I mean, I did a short on this, only 10,000 views, telling people about this program just about 2 hours after it was announced on the USMC website. This is a major update. This is what the U.S. government has owed to us from the outset. And quite frankly, it's long overdue. And I'm quite annoyed that it took this long for it to happen. I did have an indication that this was going to happen. But it's not something I could share with you all. I just had an indication that this might be happening. Yeah. Frozen, no sound? No. I don't know what you're talking about, Pete. There's nothing wrong with my no sound. Hang on. What are you talking about? Hang on. Where the heck's that? Nope. Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with my sound. Nope. Yeah. If people have been following me, they should be prepared for this program sufficiently. Yes. No, there's nothing wrong. It's Pete. Somebody type in the group that Pete needs to refresh, reload, or exit and leave and come back. There's nothing wrong with my sound. Escape from New York. Yeah, it's New Jack City. That's what New York is. We could talk about it a little bit later on. But, it's not buffering on my end, and it hasn't been buffering. But let me just preface all this because it's election night. It was election night. It's after midnight now. That's why I'm coming on so late for me. And yes, I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I've been working since 5 o'clock yesterday morning. So I'm just shy of 19 hours working nonstop. Yeah. Well, there's no buffering here. It's South Africa. Or it's, the authorities in South Africa have intervened with YouTube South Africa to censor me. Probably more likely what it is. But let's get back to the topic at hand. Election day in the United States, and conservatives are losing their minds over losing races in New York, in Virginia, in New Jersey, and in California. Did you really think you had a snowball's chance in hell of winning any of those races? First off, the NAACP refused to endorse the black woman in Virginia. So obviously they don't give a crap about blacks. All they care about is leftist ideology. And they proved that by endorsing the scumbag who ran as a Democrat, who refused to distance herself from a Jew-hating anti-Semitic lunatic who got elected in Virginia. New York hired, Sadiq Khan West, and now they've hired him to be their mayor. That's not a surprise. We knew that was coming because the Democrats didn't field anybody who could connect with anyone other than the doorknob. I mean, really, Andrew Cuomo, give me a freaking break. The guy is plastic. And then, of course, in California, with all the illegals who now have become citizens somehow magically in California, they're going to vote for this communist ideology of changing all the districts, which already has a system, a neutral, bipartisan effort. They're undermining bipartisanship because they're just scumbags in California. So if anybody thought that conservatives were going to win that, they were deluding themselves. There was no snowball's chance. The only race of all of those that was even a remote chance to win was New Jersey with Ciccarelli, but that apparently looks like he didn't win either. But, not all Republicans got beat tonight. Not all Republicans. For instance, I was on the ballot running for re-election, and I won 78% of the votes cast. 78% of the votes cast. In order for that to happen, I had to have won almost every Republican vote and a majority of Democratic votes. In other words, I won almost everybody's vote tonight. So that's a ringing endorsement for my continued role as a judge. So there you go, folks. You call it what you want, but I won 78% of the votes. 78% of the votes. So not all Republicans got whitewashed tonight. Not all got whitewashed. 78%. I mean that's like Ronaldo Ward election level. He got like 90%. So I'm approaching that. Yeah. Thank you. For those struggling to get past page 9, there's a glitch involving your organization memberships. I had to delete my union to submit the questionnaire. All right, thank you for that, Francois. Leslie says your machine well polished hardware. Well, guys, you have no idea. And my whole team today saw it. I was struggling mightily with my hip. I was fine for the first couple hours, but then because I walk so much back and forth, going places and doing this and doing that, and getting people taken care of, it was brutal. I was in some serious pain and distress, but that's not a Starbucks. Are you blind? Are you blind? That's a Coca-Cola. That is not a Starbucks. Nice try. Nice try. Day one. We're on day one of my Starbucks, abandonment. So the Arctic thinks that I'm addicted to that stuff. I'm not. I drop it, sometimes for ages. And I haven't dropped it recently anyway. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for your thoughts about Brent. Yeah, I'd say 78% on elections have passed. That's a landslide. That's almost like an African dictator landslide. Oh, so the G20 members have to put down what race they are? I would put in by hand human. I'm part of the human race. That's what I would put down. Thank you all very much. Yeah, so it was, I don't know how the other races turned out in Pennsylvania. Let me see if I can't get a look. And we're going to talk about this refugee thing here in just a minute. But this is Night Owls. I'll make a video on this later on tomorrow. I've got Corne Mulder on the program. No, I'm not the Corne Mulder. Excuse me. I've got Kali Creel on the program to talk about the 44 Ferrayas. That's coming up in the morning. That's at 8 a.m. my time. So that's just 7 hours and 45 minutes from now. And I haven't slept since yesterday. So I'll get a couple hours sleep tonight and I'll set the stream up before I go to bed. I've already sent him the invitation. So Kali Creel from AfriForum will be joining me to talk about the 44 Ferrayas. We're going to talk about that story. I would put down none of your business. Well, yeah, that's a good answer too. Finishing paperwork for U.S. Embassy. Okay. Ups crash looks like uncontained engine fire. I have no idea what is that a plane? Is that what was that? Yeah, I heard about something about a plane and people were killed and wounded. Is that what you're talking about? Was it UPS plane crash? I heard something about a cargo plane going down somewhere. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. Zoran Jihadi. Yes, right. Zoran Jihadi, Philip. You got it spot on there. Anyway, yeah. So how are we doing over here? We got 225 people early this morning. Thank you all for joining me. Voidy says, looks like a lot of people are struggling to submit. I made a mistake on page 6 by entering previous spouses. Do not enter previous spouses if you're married. Why would you have previous spouses if you've not been divorced and remarried? I don't understand that. Yeah, I never liked the whole red-blue thing. The color for Republicans for ages, for decades, was blue and Democrats was red. And then CBS News, I think it was, at one of the elections in 84, whatever, suddenly changed the colors and look what happened. Look what happened. So now we have this whole red state thing. Chinese backed steel mill in rises amid industry collapse. Yeah, isn't that funny? So Chinese can build a steel mill and make money in South Africa, but ArcelorMittal can't because of the racist policies of the government of South Africa. Yep, the Chongfeng metal facility backed by Chinese investors is capable of producing 600,000 tons of long steel a year. And it's going to start operation in a couple days. This despite ArcelorMittal going out of business, essentially, in South Africa. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Read that DA gave away their veto power. Maybe Kali Crew. Veto power for what? They have no veto power. What are you talking about? Oh, widow or widder. Gotcha, Charles. Thank you. That's helpful. I wasn't thinking about that. All right. It was all planned for Chinese takeover. Yes, it was. MD-11. Oh, Hughes, not Hughes, McDonnell Douglas, MD-11. That is an old bird, yeah. Where did it crash at, Arctic? I saw something about Philippines. Is that where this crashed? I just caught part of the news. They were busy jumping around to elections, and I was dodging deer. So, of course, I have to drive down as the judge after the elections to turn in the results. And, guys, whew, first thing, I drove across the turnpike. That's going to cost me $10 just to go 15 kilometers. It's insane. Then I went down the interstate, and all of a sudden, copped lights, reflecting lights narrowing to one lane, and then there's construction zones, and fire trucks come passing along, and somebody had an accident, and they left all the debris on the road, and a guy cut in front of me who was essentially stopped on the side, let the fire trucks go through. So he just takes off and cuts right in front of me, and I couldn't move, and so I ran over a piece of someone's car that was laying on the road, and it stuck in the undercarriage of my car, and I was dragging it along until I could pull over outside the cones and get out and dig it out from under my car. Really pissed me off. Then I got back on the road, and then I saw a deer that I missed. It happened in Kentucky. Oh, well, that makes sense. They're UPS, is there a hub in Kentucky? FedEx is in Kentucky. I'm trying to think where UPS is at. Anyway, I think they're also in Kentucky too. Then coming back, I came across 5 deer that somebody hit. 5 deer. I mean, I'm the whole time back. I hope I make it home. Because being a judge of elections isn't that damn important that I have to trash my car. I'll try to find the article and email it to you. Okay, Krista, thank you. Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, that's their headquarters for their aviation operations. Plane was on its way to Hawaii. Okay. Yes, the turnpike is a toll road. Yes, the turnpike. The Pennsylvania Turnpike is a ripoff. ODP paragraph 1 be sub victims who are victims of government-sponsored race-based discrimination. Yes, exactly. Yep. Maggie, thank you for the congratulations. Mad Max, thank you for the super chat. Clouds are gathering. Okay. A lot of people race to the form making mistakes. Just breathe. Yeah, it tells you, folks, it will take you several hours. I don't know if anybody saw my announcement, and that's why you're there, or you all just found it on your own. I hope you found it because I told you. But if you found it on your own, that's fantastic. But I hope I was able to provide a public service by announcing, because I couldn't do video. I was judged. I took a quick break and made that video short. I'm able to do that. So let's get to what we're talking about here, folks. People are gathering. The clouds are gathering, and I suspect some people that are here want to, Mad Max gave another one, want to hear about the refugee program. So I'm going to go through it with you. Yeah, no, I heard this. People are talking about him resigning. Don't buy into that stuff. Leslie Wilson, 70 Rand. The clouds are gathering. Here we go. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, so don't race through the form. I know that, but does a non-citizen have more rights than someone born in the country? Plane was on its way to Hawaii. Okay, to look at the refugee program from the start till now, it might be wrong, but when the Trump administration took charge, we still had overwhelming Democratic mandate in embassies and consulates. Correct. The people working in the embassies and consulates, the political appointees, there's only a handful of them, were appointed by Democrats. And most of the people in the State Department bureaucracy tend to be more Democrat than conservative. I know. I worked with the State Department for 30 years. Yeah. Geraldine Foslu says, congratulations. Okay, you're very welcome. You're truly dedicated to all you do. We appreciate it so very much. You're very welcome, Leslie. Thank you for the 70 Rand. I do appreciate that. And yeah, I'm glad that people appreciate it, because it really is a huge sacrifice. Oh, you saw the short this morning, says very good. Saw you posting. Most people caught on due to your announcement. Well, that's good, Charles. I hope that's the case, because YouTube is we've discovered after what was shown to us by one of the viewers that, in fact, YouTube is hiding the likes, YouTube is hiding the views, YouTube is hiding the history, and it's disgraceful. We've got the proof, we've got the video to show it, exactly what they're doing with, and many of my viewers have complained about that. So I have no idea, so people who look at my channel go, oh, you have this 8,000 views on a video. No, it's probably 5 to 10 times higher than that. Honestly, I'm not embellishing. It's obvious based on the impact. As I've said for a long time, there's no way, when I had just 20,000 viewers on my channel, 20,000 subscribers, that I would go all over South Africa and I would be recognized 20, 30, 40, 50 times in 6 different provinces by people out of the blue. Just, everybody knew who I was. There's no way that the numbers represent that. Either I know every single Afrikaner in South Africa, or somebody's lying, and I think YouTube's one lying. Who the hell is Mornay? Bonnie Duplessis, 100 Rand. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay. Yes, we all know so many good deeds are ungratefully received. It takes choice, especially human, to persist nonetheless. Yep. Oh no, Dirk, I know how they're evil bastards. When they censored my channel, my original channel, removed it, they were just so disrespectful and rude. I mean, if I had money, I would sue them to death. Intake receiver contact. Congratulations. There are only 44 of you. Yeah, according to Charlize Theron and the Ferrayas. Must be, the other 40. I know 44. Yeah, I know all 44 of you. That's right. I know 2 of you in P. I know 1 of you in Durban. I know 25 of you in Gauteng, and the rest either in Northwest or Free State or down in Western Cape. Yes, I'm in the know. All right, let's get to the site, folks, and talk about this, okay? So hang on. All right, so this is the update to this is major news. Okay, I'm going to go through it with you, and I'm going to point out some things that are very important. Please listen to what I say. Please listen to what I say, okay? How about I get the other 44 on? Yeah. Yeah, they still think it's only for white farmers. I know. So we're going to talk about that. But let me just get to this very quickly here, folks. Okay, here you go. So November 4th, 2025, finally. Important new information on this page regarding how to request referral into the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. If you've already been interviewed for U.S. Refugee Assistance Program, RAP, participation by any U.S. government officials or by an official referring partner organization, please do not, in all caps, do not complete the questionnaire. If you're already in the process of being interviewed, if you complete that questionnaire, you're going to screw yourself royally, according to the embassy website. So please listen to what I'm saying. Completing the questionnaire could slow down consideration of your ongoing request or processing if it's already. If you're already in the process, do not fill out the questionnaire. Again, if you are already in the process, do not fill out the questionnaire. Do not fill out the questionnaire. Now, watch. People fill out the questionnaire and say, nobody told me. I'm telling you right now, if you're already in process, you've been interviewed, you've done medicals, do not touch the questionnaire. All right? This is for reinitializing the program as it exists. Before initiating the questionnaire, please read the U.S. questionnaire mission to South Africa's website provides important information about refugees. Oh my goodness, now the rain's coming. And Amanda Larson, thank you for your, wow, and that's a cool Scandinavian name. Larsson, yeah, for sure. No, so that's the daughter of, that's Lars Dota. If you were in Iceland, we call you Amanda Lars Dota. Yes, thank you so much for that. Wow, 700 rand. My goodness, that'll buy a few of these little cans of Coca-Cola. Thank you so much for that. Again, please note that you're not required to complete the intake questionnaire in one sitting. You don't have to do it one time. Oh, Colonel 70 from William. Hope you are good, and thanks for all your help so far. Important note on new questionnaire. There's a major bug on page 9. Continue to complete last 2 pages. Okay. William, thank you for that. I will investigate that. I cannot fill out the questionnaire because I would just be gumming up the works, but it's a page 9. I've heard about a few bugs. Page 9. Okay. Also, bear in mind that there's probably a lot of people hitting that website. I heard somebody earlier saying they were getting a no return. Well, I got a return because it's probably mirrored here in the U.S. So let's continue. Guy Fawkes. Is it Guy Fawkes Day today? Are you serious? Is it Guy Fawkes Day? Oh, my goodness. No wonder I heard gunfire. There's no gunfire. Yep. So, wow, Guy Fawkes Day. How did I miss the bubble on that? I just so damn busy. I missed that it was Guy Fawkes Day. I had no idea it was Guy Fawkes Day, man. Wow. Must have been thousands of people trying to get into the embassy. And is it constantly crashed? No doubt. We got the call and did a Teams interview a week ago and got a case number and email, but have not heard anything since. I'm not sure if we should do the questionnaire. Well, Michael Dutoy, the website specifically says in all caps, do not complete the questionnaire if you're already in the process. All caps, see that? Do not complete this questionnaire if you're already being interviewed. You are going to screw yourself over, according to them. I'm just telling you what the embassy says, okay? Antifoy says, that's amazing. All for the super chat. Daniel says, there must have been 1,000 people. Yep. Arc Precision is back. Good to see you there. Thank you for telling me it's Guy Fawkes Day. Stradcut's back. Exactly what I said on this channel many times. Those who have heard nothing should submit their details to the Amerikaners. Nope, that's not correct, Stradcut. That is not correct. And the Amerikaners told you not to submit anything. That's what their website said. All right? And this is not what's going on. Do not conflate your view with what's happening here. Okay? Do not conflate your view. You're just going to confuse people. Read the damn website, people. Okay. Page 9 bug appears to revolve around the organizations we add. I delete my union to continue, okay? You are now part of African history, and your name will go into history books one day. I hope so, Mad Max. That'd be so cool. All right. American woman Hannah Swanepoel says her South African husband treats her like a princess. South African women all good. Southern men has been taken. Okay, have you seen what happened in Louisville? That's the plane crash. Yeah, I did not. Folks, remember, I've been working since 5:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night on the election. All I did was hear on the radio. I did hear that Dick Cheney died at the age of 84. I heard that today, but beyond that, it really was out of the loop on the news. And I want to focus on this because this came to my attention. Very quickly because of a source that I have. It told me about it as it was being released. And so within moments of being released, I was aware of it, but I could not make a video initially because I was busy helping voters. It wasn't until I could get a break that I was able to make a short, but that's all I could do. I wasn't in my studio and I was tied up for 18 hours. So this is more important than that news right now. Plane crashes happen all the time. This is big news for a lot of people. Husband did this immediately when it opened up, but still at this day have not heard anything. So this is amazing news. See, Max, you are taking it the right way. Some people will start complaining, well, I already did it. I waited 8 months and nothing happened. Well, they are telling you now, if you don't fill it out and you previously filled one out, you're not going to get anything. So hang in there. Listen to this. Okay. Individuals may be considered for referral into the program either as a principal applicant or as an immediate family member, a spouse or child under the age of 21, which initially I had said back in February, normally is under 18 or younger, under the age of 18, a principal applicant. A principal applicant and his or her immediate family members are considered a family group on an intake questionnaire. Sue Marie, congrats and thank you for your time as always, even in between your chaotic day. I hope your hip feels better. I hope so, but it's not hurting at the moment, but I was in a lot of pain today. I don't take painkillers, and I'm just Ranger Rick, suck it up. But it hurt. It hurt like a mother. It really was bad. And my team saw it. They saw it. It hurt so much today that I almost screw the injection. Just give me a new hip. That's how much it hurt today. But we persevere. The principal applicant, PA, is not the Patriotic Alliance, but the principal applicant is the individual who meets all eligibility criteria for South Africans, which is listed on the website, including the ability to demonstrate a history of persecution or fear of persecution due to race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership of a particular social group. A principal applicant's immediate family members include only his or her legal spouse, not fiance, not partner, spouse. That's what I've said all along. People tell me that they made exceptions, but this is what they're saying now, which is what the law says. And unmarried legal children under the age of 21, including biological children, stepchildren, and legally adopted children. Individuals with these relationships may access the site as a qualifying family member of the principal applicant, so they're not required to demonstrate a history of persecution or fear of persecution themselves and do not need to meet all of the eligibility criteria. Okay, so it doesn't say it, but that would give the impression that a dual national or someone who's a national in another country would still be able to come as an immediate family member, which is what I said is likely to happen all along. Say you are married to a Thai and she has a Thai passport and you have children that are half Thai and are all South African and half Afrikaner or colored. You would qualify, and so would your Thai frau under this scheme. Okay, family members of a principal applicant who are not their legal spouse or unmarried legal children must not be included in the principal applicant's family group, such as your parents. Your adult parents are not. Now, once again, if you are the legal guardian of someone because of dementia or diminished capacity or physical handicap, that's a different story. Other adults who may be part of the principal applicant's household or extended family, including parents, adult children, other relatives, and unrelated members of the household, who may also want to request referral, must be entered as principal applicants themselves. As I've said all along, if you have adult parents, they must apply on their own. I know people are going to tell me they had anecdotal exceptions, but that's what the law says. And that's what I've been telling you all along. So, all right. We have been reporting when people have given us instances of exceptions, but I'm telling you, this is how it is. Okay. All right. Instructions on how to complete the questionnaire. Okay. It's okay. So, before you begin to do the intake questionnaire, they recommend you gather a bunch of information from all principal applicants and their immediate family members whom you intend to include. This questionnaire could take you several hours to complete. You don't have to complete it all at one time. So, All right. Full names of all principal applicants and immediate family members as printed on their official national identities or passports. Date and place of birth for each individual. Information and documentation related to each individual's marital history, including former spouses and fiancés. That one is a surprise to me. I didn't expect fiancés. They're not a legal part of your family, regardless of whether they're also applying. So if you have a former spouse that is not going, doesn't want anything to do with it, you still have to report their name. Identity documents for each individual, information about individuals' parents, the name, the country of their birth, and their address, if they're living, obviously. If they're dead, I guess you give them the address of the cemetery. All right. Information, documentation related to each individual's children, regardless of whether they are also applying for the program. Each individual's residences for the past 10 years. That's what we have to do for a security clearance, 10 years. And employment for the past 5 years. We also have to do that security clearance. And the highest level of education, all something we do for a security clearance. Each individual's military service history, required for military clearance. It's like you guys are getting a top secret clearance. You have to answer the same questions I do. Statements about past persecution or fear of persecution, required for every principal applicant. So remember all these people saying they don't care about future persecution or your fears. Remember they said that? That's bull donkey. I told you that was bull donkey. I mean, I don't know what's head in. I didn't sit in individual interviews, but that's not how the rule of the law. And the rule of law says, or fear of future persecution, or fear of future persecution, or fear of future persecution. Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that ringing any bells now? Yes. Janine, it doesn't matter where you're born if you're a South African citizen. Are you a South African citizen? That's what matters, Janine. If you're a South African citizen, all right? Normally, a passport is an indication that you're a citizen of a country. Okay? All right. So it's optional for family members. But if you got a family member who suffered persecution, I would put it in there. If there's a space for it, I would put every bad thing that happened. I mean, if your wife was assaulted, I would put that in there. You know, even if you're the principal applicant, okay? If your daughter or something bad, or, you know, your son was carjacked, you know. Note, all information must be provided in English. Translation assistance is not provided for the questionnaire. You will start by answering 5 simple questions to determine the eligibility of the principal applicant. If you, the principal applicant, meets the initial eligibility requirements, you will be prompted to enter an email address that you will use throughout the process. Be sure that you have an active email account. Don't screw this up and pick your old 1996 AOL account. It won't work. You will receive an email with a verification code and a link that you can use to re-enter the application securely at any time so that you may return to complete the questionnaire at a later time. After submitting your email address, you will be moved automatically to a new page with 2 or 3 more questions, and then onto a dashboard. From there, you begin entering more extensive data into the intake questionnaire. Please carefully review the instructions on the dashboard when you arrive to that point of the process. After that point, if you need to stop before completing and submitting the questionnaire, you can save and return to the dashboard from wherever you are. Then just close the window and exit. Later, when you need to re-enter, go to the email you received from the system providing your own personal dashboard link and verification code. If you do not receive or cannot find the email with your personal dashboard link and code, go back to the public link on the U.S. Embassy website. So, and this is what it looks like. So this is what the page looks like. Okay. That's what the page looks like. Okay. So, all right. So you request new link. See the request new link box in the top right-hand side in the grayed out area? If you can't get back in, you click on that, okay? You'll be prompted to enter email address you used at start, and will be sent a new link with the email address with the verification code allowing you to return to your partially completed questionnaire, exactly where you left off. Now, folks, you have to get. Does it really matter, Stefan? I mean, do you think if they lost them, they're going to tell you they lost them? Do you think it really matters? No. Once again, they're streamlining the process. So what's the point? I mean, what? We can speculate and, say no, we say yes, but it doesn't change anything. Please listen and just do what you're told to do, or you're not going to get in the program. Simple as that. Okay, so you must get all the way to the end of the intake questionnaire before you will be able to submit your data. Paul, Morning, Colonel. Sent you an email yesterday with 4 problems experienced on the website last night, but they seem to have fixed it. Later on, I was able to complete our details last night. Cool. Congratulations, Paul. Thank you for 140 Rand. Yeah, you say last night. Well, last night was today for me, okay? My day hasn't ended. But thank you. I do appreciate that. I will try to read emails, but I have a very busy day on Wednesday. So I probably won't get to people's emails till Thursday. And by then, this might be old news. Anyway, completing the intake questionnaire may take you several hours, depending on your personal circumstances and your family size. So be prepared for it to take a long time, okay? All right. Once you've completed the intake questionnaire, it will be reviewed by the Department of State referral partners who may contact you for clarification or additional information. Ultimately, the referring partner will determine whether the principal applicant is eligible for and merits referral to the refugee program and further case processing. If a principal applicant's application is not eligible for referral to the refugee program, the referring partner will inform the applicant via email. So if you are turned down, you will get an email saying you didn't qualify. All right? That's what people have been wondering all along. All principal applicants referred to the refugee program will receive contact from Resettlement Support Center, RSC, in Africa, operated by Church World Service, with information about the next steps in their case. At such time, RSC will schedule the principal applicant and all members of the family group for an interview appointment that will take place in person at a USRAP processing facility in South Africa. If you have technical difficulties with the intake questionnaire, please email a description of the problem you're encountering to it's on the website, usrapconcerns@state.gov. But they're not going to answer individual questions. That's just if you have a technical problem, like was mentioned a few moments ago by someone who said, who was it, Daniel? No, it was Paul. Paul, who said that he had problems last night. All right, now this is what I've said from the very beginning, from February 7th. I told you about the leugners, the betrügners, the liars, the frauds, the charlatans, the flim-flam man, the hucksters who will try to separate you from your money. I have always said, and I maintain, and I was factually correct, as I usually am. Yes, that's a boast. You know what? If you got it, flaunt it. I mean, I get it right so often, it makes the head spin. But I told you that this program is free. It costs you absolutely nothing. Now, you are liable to pay for your flight, should be approved, and you go to the U.S., but that's a no-interest loan from the International Organization of Migration, and you have to repay it after a grace period of 6 months at very favorable terms, unless you can't pay it back, and then you negotiate a longer term to pay it back. But no interest. So it's pretty cool. But you pay for nothing. You don't pay for application. You don't pay for process. You don't pay for medicals. You don't pay for interviews. You don't pay for any of that. All of that is handled by the United States government and me, the taxpayer. All right. So they are warning people again what I warned people from the outset. And it took the U.S. government until May before they warned people about scams. And then they only did it passing. I have told you over and over again, I've made several videos about this. I pointed out people who are fraudsters. And yes, and some people were able to avoid that. Others didn't listen to me and they got their money separated from them. And while I feel bad for them, I only have so much empathy because people choose to ignore me because they listen to pussy balls out there that don't know what they're talking about. And so, you know, if you listen to the deuce out there, that's on you. All right. So access to the program is free, including completion of the intake questionnaire. USARP referral partners, Americanas and RSC Africa, do not charge fees to applicants for their referral services. It is not necessary to have documents verified. That's what I've said all along. Also, you don't need a police clearance. You don't need a police clearance. You don't need to have documents verified. There's no such thing. That's just bullshit. Total bullshit. People scamming you. Do not listen to them. All right. Beware of any scams or potential exploitation. No one should pay any fees or favors to unauthorized individuals claiming to be able to assist or expedite resettlement because no one can do that, including me, or to gain access to the program. Do not share your personal information with anyone you do not trust. Avoid emailing your identity documents to anyone other than an official USRAP partner. You should always maintain control over your identity documents. And what did I tell you from the very beginning? I told you these things, and 100% correct. That's what you must do. Protect yourself. And I've always said it. No, I seriously doubt they told you that. Isla, I know someone else who couldn't read their fingerprints, and they had to get a certification from the police to confirm that it was the person. That's not a police clearance. That's different. Police clearance is a specific process and a document that people need for employment and things in South Africa. That is not something we accept. This is only because people, how do you all, people, what's with you all sitting around with acid burning your fingerprints? Are you a bunch of gangsters? How do all these people not have fingerprints? So many South Africans don't have fingerprints. It's shocking. I never heard of such a thing. Just the medicals is a lot of money if you had to pay. Oh, yes, Krista, it's a fortune. It's a fortune. We spend a fortune for every person that gets processed, whether they come over or not. All right, Jaden Smith, you're not listening to anything I said or you just tuned in. I read that and I explained that 10 minutes ago, but I will explain it again. All right. If your son lives in South Africa and is a racial minority suffering from unjust racial persecution or has legitimate fear of future persecution based on their racial status or cultural alignment, it doesn't matter if they're married to a doorknob. As long as they're married, that spouse can come over. And we've proven this over and over again. We know people have come to America who have spouses who have a safe haven passport. But because one of your family members can't go there, your children can't go there because that country won't accept them, won't let them come there, well, then they're in jeopardy. Therefore, we're going to get them out. We don't break families up. We do not break families up. We do not break families up. How many million times have I said that? All right, so I think that covers that topic again. All right, I just read that right off the website. All right, so once again, let's run through the categories, the things that have talked about since February 7th. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, criteria to be eligible for U.S. refugee resettlement consideration through this initiative. Individuals must meet the following criteria. Must be of South African nationality. That would be Jaden's son. Or be a member of a racial minority in South Africa. Must be South African nationality and must be of Afrikaner ethnicity or a member of racial minority in South Africa. Therefore, coloreds and Indians would qualify, as they have been all along. And if people quit lying to Indians and coloreds in the cockprot media in South Africa, a lot more coloreds and Indians probably would have expressed their interest. They must be able to articulate a past personal experience of persecution or fear of future persecution. Future persecution! What did I tell you? Everybody's trying to tell you they don't care about that. I'm telling you that that's not what the law says. On account of race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group or political opinion. Must be at least 18 years of age or being referred with a parent as defined by the Immigration and Nationality Act. Title 8, U.S. Code, Section 1101, Paragraph B, Subparagraph 2, and must be living inside South Africa. The program does not anticipate any out-of-country processing of South African nationals. I think that makes it pretty clear. If you work with pineapples, it removes your fingerprints. Okay, Malcolm, so we don't grow pineapples in South Africa, do we? Maybe you grow a few, but Hawaii is where they grow pineapples. Worked his fingerprints. Well, people that work in automobile industry and things like that, I could see that. Or in the metallurgy. All right. So, at this time, individuals who meet all the above criteria and would like to be considered for referral to the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program and who have not yet been contacted by a partner to initiate referral should complete the online questionnaire. If you have already submitted a statement of interest via the link previously shared on this page, if you are still interested in the Refugee Assistance Program participation and have not yet been contacted by a referring or processing partner to take action on your statement of interest, you must complete and submit this questionnaire in order to be considered for referral into the program. If you have previously submitted a statement of interest and you have not been contacted and you do not submit this questionnaire, you are going nowhere. According to them. That's what they're saying. All right? You must submit the questionnaire, which is far more detailed, far more intensive, far more intrusive than the statement of interest was. Hence the reason. It's not because they've lost files. Maybe they have. I don't know. But it's obviously because they are trying to streamline this process and ensure they get people through. They waste a lot of time asking questions that could easily be answered by people putting in answers on these websites. All right. You must complete and submit the questionnaire to be considered. Department of State's referral partners review all submissions, contacting applicants if any additional information is needed to determine eligibility, or for referral into the program. Given the volume of interest, individuals may not receive a response for an extended period after submitting their questionnaire. All right? Yes, Paul, people need to take note of it. And I've already made the point. Someone already came on here earlier, and one of the other viewers slam-based them, said, well, I'm going to resubmit it. Yeah, I already heard from them, but they haven't answered back. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Not all individuals will be referred to the program for further consideration or refugee eligibility. The U.S. government considers a variety of factors when making access decisions, including eligibility, persecution claim, and background checks. The authority to grant access to the program rests with the U.S. government and is not a function of the implementing partners. For you bigots and racists out there that were whining and crying, come and go, who are these Kenyans? Who do they decide I get to? They don't decide. I told you that. You don't want to listen to me? Go sit in your cave. Go be a bigot and racist. What do I care? Everyone I've talked to, every single person I've talked to who's engaged with the Kenyans, and I don't know these people, but they've all told me that they've been wonderful, empathetic. Many of them have broke down in tears hearing the stories of what's happened to Afrikaners and to coloreds and Indians. So they do not make that decision. The U.S. government doesn't. I told you that all along. But people want to hear what they want to hear, and they want to believe who they want to believe. And they want to listen to people that think they know everything because they fly planes. They don't. I'm not talking about Arctic. Anyway. All right. Once a decision is made regarding whether an individual is referred, the individual will receive notification of the decision whether referred or not. Referred means continuing the program. Functions supporting resettlement processing in South Africa being performed by partners, including RSC Africa, which is operated by Church World Services, and the Amerikaners. Neither one has any connection to the South African government. Again, I've told you that as well. Access to the program is free, and told you that as well, including completion of this intake questionnaire, which is new, so I haven't had a chance to tell you that. Referral partners do not charge fees to applicants for the referral services. I also told you that. RSC and Amerikaners will communicate with applicants and respond to applicant inquiries at various stages. Okay. Referrals. Amerikaners and Church World Services serve as designated State Department referral partner. They gather information from potential applicants to assess whether the case is eligible for referral to the U.S. RAP, which is something I also told you. And they refer cases to the Department of State for access. The Amerikaners is separate from and not affiliated with the organization Amerikaner Friends, LLC. I don't know what that is, Amerikaner Friends, LLC. But they put a warning on there. And case processing. That's referrals and case processing. Conducts pre-screen interviews with applicants. That's Church World Services, is RSC, not Amerikaners. Gathering information and documentation. See, that's why someone said earlier, I told you to send the stuff to Amerikaners. Well, Amerikaners doesn't do case processing. They just do referrals. They don't do case processing. Pre-screening with applicants, gathering information, documentation for U.S. Citizenship Immigration Services, eligibility interview. They request the background checks, they schedule the interviews, they arrange for medical exams, and they book travel to the U.S. All of which I told you. They do not make final determinations on refugee cases. Only the United States has the authority to adjudicate cases. And what did I tell you? The word I introduced to you was adjudicator. I brought that word out. It's like they're stealing my playbook here. It's like they're stealing my playbook. I swear. I mean, did they like watch all my videos and just put this program together watching my videos? Anyway, USCIS continues to conduct resettlement interviews on a regular basis in South Africa. Yes, this is an important sentence for Vincent Magwenya, for Cockprot24, for Daily Maverick, for the Toilet Paper Record of the Independent Line. Only USCIS has the authority to adjudicate cases and decide whether an individual meets the U.S. legal definition of refugee under the Immigration and Nationality Act. That's not stated, but that's the rest of it. And that's what I've told you all along. No Kenyan, no South African politician has any right or say in the matter whatsoever. And that really pisses them off. Access is free. It's not necessary to have documents verified. Beware of individuals and organizations purporting either partners or offering to expedite portions of refugee settlement. Neither of which I've ever done. Important notice regarding travel arrangements. The government's representative has only one official implementing partner for arranging and booking travel for refugees from South Africa and the United States. That's RSC Africa, operated by Church World Services. Okay, what else here? Neither the U.S. government nor its implementing partners assist or fund the transportation of pets, as I've also told you. U.S. government, including the embassy, is not working with any entity or group that will assist in travel with your pet or for your pet. Refugees wish to bring their pets to the United States should make arrangements for pet travel independently after they arrive in the United States, something I also recommended, for pet travel. It is recommended to wait at least 90 days, something I also suggested once you get settled because you don't know where you're going to go. You might be put into a temporary housing complex where you're not allowed to have pets, and then you have to put them in a boarding service, and that costs you $20, $30 per pet per day. It's a fortune. Yep, or more. Initial combination for may not allow pets, and there is no assistance provided for moving your pets. Beware of anyone who claims they are coordinating with the U.S. government to assist you with moving your pets or promises to help expedite review of your program. So, there you go. There you go. Wow. So, I already said referrals. Case processing. So I already covered that. Anyway, that's it. That's a major update there, folks. It's a major update. And the big thing here is if you've already submitted a statement of interest and never been contacted, you need to fill out this questionnaire. If you've never been contacted, you need to fill out this questionnaire. If you don't, well, then you're going to be left behind. Okay? That's what the U.S. Embassy's put out. Chantel Correa, I covered that. You must have documents available. I don't care what kind of birth certificate you have, as long as your parents are named on it. You call that unabridged. I mean, I guess since certain year, 2014 or 2019 or something like that, or 2015, all of them are unabridged. So, but I know people are younger than that. You're going to have those documentation. If you don't have it, I would still fill out the information and continue to pursue getting it. All right. Andre Mostart, thank you for awesome program and help for us in South Africa. Okay, so it's getting new pets. Not an easy thing to do when they're part of your family. Yep, they are exorbitant costs, folks. And remember all the people who rubbished me, who lied about me, who said all the bullshit about me and ran around, said I don't know what I'm talking about, and called me a liar? Where are these little shitbirds now? Where are they now? Because once again, I was proven correct. It is not free to send your pets to America. It doesn't cost just $200. That's pure fiction. People hear what they want to hear. And if they don't like what they hear, they rubbish the people who tell them the truth. They rubbish the people who tell the truth. No apologies. None of those shitheads ever apologized to me for slandering me. And if I was wealthy, they'd all be bankrupt because I would have sued them into the ground. No apologies. None whatsoever. And some of those shitbirds are still saying they're garbage about me. If we have done everything, including orientation, or just waiting for flights, does this affect us? No, it doesn't affect you. What part of this would affect you, Quids? I don't understand the question. Did you just tune in and miss what I've been talking about for 53 minutes? That's possible because I hadn't seen you chatting. I just explained all this. This is for people who want to go, who are not in the process. So it doesn't affect you. Don't do anything. You're going to screw up your process. If you've already been contacted, do not take any action. That's what the website says. That's what I'm telling you. It's also I've been telling you all along. When people are saying, just go to the Amerikaners and fill out a statement, all you did was screw up the process for everybody else. You already had a statement of interest in. You went there and you screwed things up for other people. So those who did that. If you don't like good advice, Mars is next door. Yeah, Dirk says, my daughters insist on bringing their pets along every time we relocate to another country. Could have bought a house with all the money we spent. Yeah, pets are a lot more expensive than human beings, yeah. Expat family, Joubert, are you leaving? Exactly. As long as your parents' names and birth dates on it, you're good to go. Okay. I have my sister and her husband. They will not consider applying for it. She states they have one son in North Carolina, another in UAE, so nothing here for them. So why won't they do it? Ronald, so I take my hat off to you for all the bull you have to face. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, you guys don't even know half. I don't even talk about half this stuff. I mean, some people probably hear and go, he's always complaining about stuff. Trust me, I'm not. If you saw the crap that I get, oh my gosh, you'd pass out. I mean, people are just unbelievable. For education, if post-university coach, should we still complete the high school? Why would you go to high school, Lincoln, if you graduate university? I don't understand that question. Screw you. Nobody messed up any process. Amerikaners request people to submit their details. Their documents ready. You're the one who screwed people. Oh, there we go. There's a little Farrier exposing yourself. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You come in here and talk shit on my program, and now you're being rude to me. I didn't say a word about you, dickhead. Just take off. Go by. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Little hate wanker like you. Being rude. Yeah, screw you too. That's what you said to me. Wow. You see that? These little scumbags hide here in the chat, pretend to be nice people, and then you just got no fucking manners. You know what? Go pound sand up your rectum. You have no respect for people. No respect. You're just an ass. How you like them apples? Wow. I didn't call you out by name. Wow. The Amerikaners told people on their website, you dingbat doorknob, not to submit anything to them if you've already done a statement of interest. How hard is that to understand? Do you not understand the words coming out of my mouth? Soll ich auf andere Sprache das erklären? Wow. The refuge, according to the law, and this is where another troll attacked me. According to the law, you need a birth certificate to apply for a green card. There are exceptions, as there are to every rule. And yes, that's what we were led to believe, is that you need to have it for, you don't need it to come to America. Warning about naysayers, those lying about you, talking trash for you, have the decency to say sorry. No, they won't. No, they won't. And look at this person comes on here now. I didn't say anything about that person. And that person told me to screw you. You know, hit the road. No one wants to hear your nonsense. Yes, I know, Arctic. Let them step on their crank again. Let them stank on their crank again. You know, it's not rocket science. It's said right on the Americaner's website. Do not submit. Do not answer a question if you've already submitted a statement of interest. It said so. And it's, I told you to submit. I told you. If you didn't listen to me, you got screwed. No, you didn't. God bless. No, it's not an EFF troll. It's a right-wing hate wanker. $6 fled Europe, $8 fled Cape, 2,000 fled South Africa. Complete same errors, but this new questionnaire, is that also available in the US? Yes, Bonnie, that's correct. No, it's okay. I'm happy to repeat it, Bonnie. Get me off of what just happened. No, it's okay. I've been on for an hour, and people haven't been here for the whole hour, so that's fine, Bonnie. No, it's just when I just explained something, and like 30 seconds later, people ask the exact same question, or a minute later. But no, it's fine. So, Bonnie, okay, if you did a statement of interest and you have not heard from the U.S. government or one of the representatives, Americaners or RSC, they are saying that you must go fill out this questionnaire on the website. If you don't do it, you won't be considered. That's what they're saying. Yeah, these little turds hide in here all the time and act like they're all nice and everything, and then they get caught. Lost in AWB translation. You're welcome, Bonnie. Thank you for your question. I'm the only applicant. I have completed first couple questions, but are stuck now. That's odd, Anne-Marie. I don't know. Okay, Anne-Marie, you can go. There's a if that's a technical problem, you can write. That's not going to solve it for you immediately, but you can take time to fill this thing out. It's on the website. It tells you where to go. I read that email a short while ago. Where is that here? I'm trying to find. Yeah, USRAP-concerns@state.gov. USRAP-concerns@state.gov. For technical, you can tend to think there's a technical problem. You can't get any further. I'm not going to go fill the questionnaire out. I've got it here, but I can't fill it out because, it's inappropriate for me to do it. So if you go here, that's the questionnaire, okay? All right? You come down here, and then you start answering the questions. See, I can't do that. Are you South African national? Yes. Is the applicant African? Yes. Can the applicant claim a fear, past, persecution, or future? Yes. Does the applicant currently reside in South Africa? Yes. Or at least 18 years. You hit submit and go. I can't do that, though. I'm not a South African, and it's inappropriate. So, yeah, it's amazing how some Afrikaans lose their hinges and start flapping the moment their behavior is pointed out. Yep. It's just amazing to me how people take something personally that wasn't directed at them. I didn't call a single person out. I didn't call a group of people out. I just said people that submitted these things were messing things up. And what do I get for that? The person that did that was telling people to do that, outed themselves in attacking me. Good morning, Colonel. Thank you for everything you're doing for the dying Afrikaner, because this has a lot of become like rhinos to stink. Lots of love. Thank you very much, Adriana Nortier. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I'm pretty sure the Colonel has said on his lawn, sand on his lawn. And I don't have any sand in my lawn. It's our 14th marriage anniversary, so we wish a nice anniversary. Wow, congratulations, Neff. Happy 14th anniversary. Wow, that's pretty impressive. accomplishment there. Got to go now. Online orientation. All right, Max. Have fun. Thank you for sticking with us all and your help, advice, and a little bit of time after you put in to keep us updated with the facts. Please know we appreciate it. Uman, I know a lot of people do appreciate it. And that's why I keep doing it. I mean, it's certainly not for the views. Look at how my channel has plummeted in views. It's certainly not for the ad revenue or for the money, because that's all plummeted too. And it's certainly not because I'm becoming famous. I'm not. So I mean, I do this out of a good place. And again, this is not a refugee channel, but this is the one channel where you get the truth. And I don't sugarcoat things. And I've never misled you or lied to you intentionally. Never. And I'm almost never incorrect. It's the people hear what they want to hear. Hear what they want to hear. And I know people hear that. So I had to put a caveat in the video I released last night from my speech at Open Plus, in which I said something like, because I didn't get to finish it. I was in the middle of a thought, and I did come back and say it later during that presentation. Those who were there know I did. But I said initially that, that asylum seekers are not allowed to work under the law. They're not until they reach a certain stage. Normally, minimum is 6 months. They never can apply at 5 months, but they could never possibly approve to work legally before 6 months. It's a lot of time to accrue debt. And many asylum seekers aren't even allowed. They have to wait longer. So anyway. Exactly, and that person is unbelievably rude. Absolutely no manners at all. On a better note, yeah, unbelievably rude. I didn't say anything to that person. Who the hell do you think you are? Tell me, screw you. I mean, who are you? You're just unbelievably disrespectful and rude. I didn't say anything to that person. I'm not even mentioning the person by name right now. Just rude, no manners, inconsiderate asshats. Yeah, selective hearing. Yep. And the problem is that they don't hear what they want to hear, so they lose their minds. Oh my God! Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're a liar. It's only $200 to send pets to America. This colonel's a liar. He's lying to everybody. He's misleading everybody. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Oh my God! Are you crying now? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball. Is it Ingrid's birthday? I missed that. Oh, Ingrid didn't tell us till now. Now we have to celebrate. Happy birthday to Ingrid. Look at that. Ooh, she is 19 years young today. Happy birthday. And there's her cake. Purple cake. Clouds are gathering. The cake is being made. There you go. Ooh, whoop. All right. I would never have thought of leaving South if things were different. Without your channel, we would not have all the information we have done. You're very welcome, Jules. Truth is like a fart. People don't want to hear it. That makes life difficult for themselves listening to the wrong advice. Yeah. It's based on when you can hear you scream. Yeah, they say that's true. Because there's no sound traveling. Happy haps. Hey, horse crazy. What's going on? Mental meltdowns are so funny. Nicola. Okay. Well, yeah. Happy birthday. Cool beans. Ingrid's birthday. Wow, she's so young today. Just a kid. All right, guys. That's cool. Anyway. So, look, the bottom line here, ladies and gentlemen, the take from this is that, number one, if you have not, according to the American Embassy, what they published yesterday now, if you've already filled out the statement of interest, and presumably a PRM email, if there's any of those people left that haven't been dealt with, you must fill out, if you haven't been contacted at all, you must fill out this intake questionnaire, which is very detailed, requires a lot of information, and the thing says it could take several hours, but you can save it and come back to it. If you don't do that, even if you've done a statement of interest, you will not be considered for refugee status. Is that fair? Well, I don't know. Life isn't fair. But really, I don't think it's all that unfair. They're trying to streamline this. So I think it's actually good news. Ebola games. Good Lord, you play with some dangerous stuff there, buddy. Really struggling with the new questionnaire. My wife and kids questionnaire is submitted. But, okay, why are you doing a separate questionnaire for your wife and kids? I don't understand that. Did you not understand what the website told you and explained? I read the rules earlier, Ebola games. I'm a little confused. Why are you doing separate statements of new questionnaire for your wife? I mean, aren't you on your wife's? Who's the principal? Is she the principal or are you the principal? What's your feelings in regards to American shutdown? Do you think it will reopen? Yes, I think it'll open before Thanksgiving. Frank calls BS because the real Chris Wyatt doesn't wear long pants. I do wear long pants. I wore long pants today when it's appropriate. How's your hip feeling? Krista, you came late. My hip was agonizing today. I spent the day as judge of elections. I did a lot of walking back and forth, logged a lot of miles, and I was absolutely in agony today. I was in so much pain today that I thought seriously about getting a hip replacement. It hurt like a lot. Right now, it's not bothering me because I'm seated, and it's taking the pressure off of. But it was really painful. It hurt a lot. It was not pleasant. Quinn says, "Thank you. I'll have my daughter do it now because she did SOI and hasn't gotten any feedback." There you go. There you go. Bug on page 9, problem resolved. You have to answer no to all the further questions to proceed to the next page. Okay, there you go. Francois Andlo is giving you some advice. They asked to load them into as members, and they also need a questionnaire. I still don't understand, Ebola. I don't understand. I'm not trying to chastise you. I just don't understand what you're saying because it says a family group. I don't understand why you wouldn't have put it as a family group. Paul, you do a principal member and then add family. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Paul. Well, Ebola, read Paul's super chat. That's exactly what I'm saying. James Duvall, Stephen says, my wife and I are married 51 years. We say we cannot work anymore. Where will we stay? Housing expensive. Well, you're right about housing expensive. Where will you stay? I don't know where you'll stay, Stephen. I don't know where you're going to go. How could I possibly tell you where you're going to stay? You're going to stay wherever the Refugee Assistance Center finds accommodation for you that's suitable. And then you're going to get permanent housing. And then, housing is expensive, but housing is expensive all over the place. I appreciate what you're coming from. I don't have the answer for you. I made a video about what money is available and how that works. So I don't have an answer for you. So I don't know what to say. Sumeri, don't worry about trying to get people to apologize to me. Greta, I don't know. I haven't done the questionnaire. So there's a drop-down list for degrees. Our degrees, no more Starbucks, Shirley. Nope, not for a month. We have a bet now. The bet started today after the election, so it started November 5th. So the window's out. I can't have a Starbucks until December 4th. Yep, can't have one until December 4th. 30 days. So, yep, can't have it. Arctic has bet me that I can't go I can't go a month without a Starbucks. And if I do go a month without a Starbucks, he's going to cough up $500. Peter Liebenberg, I've never heard of such a thing. So I don't understand. You're going to have to write to me privately, and I'll look into it. Eugene did what last night? Your questionnaire? Moved to New York. Property is cheap as of midnight. That's right. New Jack City, man. You can get some cheap property there. What about what's going on in Brazil? Again, guys, I didn't catch the news. I was busy being a judge all day. Leslie, congratulations to voting. Says, thank you again for everything you do. I hope you get a bit of rest and your hip pain eases. All right, take care, Leslie. Have a good day. On the 22nd of November, it's the day I will know if I become a volunteer at the Two Oceans Quartet. Okay. All right, Nadine. Fingers crossed. Yes, Chris Stefanarda, I agree. People, they need to see there's a problem with their own behavior. Exactly right. New Yorkistan, yep, exactly. Fawn says, just have one, Colonel, don't tardy. That would be dishonest. That would not be honorable. I can't take Arctic's money if I'm dishonest. I'll happily take his money because he's gonna eat his words. But hey, it's easy for me to boast. I'm 1 hour and 10 minutes into a month without the Starbucks. Let's see what I say in a day or 2 days or 5 days or 7 days. Exactly, Alan. He's going to be out. I mean, I think Arctic's just having fun. But the bottom line is, I mean, as I said before, like these, I just stopped drinking Coke. I love Coke, but I'll just stop, not in cans. I prefer it in the bottles. But I stopped drinking Coke just, for 2 or 3 months at a time because it's just, ugh. Like, I love licorice. I've got my raspberry flavored licorice, string licorice. I love that. I haven't had it in 6 months. But I got a hankering for it, so I ordered a bag from Amazon. I'm back on the kick. I'm back on the wagon, so I had a little bit of it. And then I ordered a bit more, but I'm getting tired of it now. It's, I'm tired of it. So, I mean, I can do that. That's one of the reasons why I was never chubby, why I was always skinny as a rail. I mean, if I didn't like something or I didn't like, where my body was going, I'd just cut back something and not do it. Well, I mean, we've already covered this, folks. I'm just going to drink Amarula every night. Karen, so why couldn't you submit? Did you get a question wrong? You're not eligible? Nicola says she's definitely happy she can apply for the program. You're very welcome. Sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. Good times never seem so good. Salom Kruger. You guys say Kruger. It's Kruger. Luanka Furi. Not all degrees listed in the drop-down. Nothing for BCom. Also, Oxford, Mississippi is not on the drop-down for where you visited before and also where the family lived. I don't know what the drop-down menus include, so I don't know what to tell you about that. Sure, you can find a non-Starbucks Frappuccino somewhere else. Scratch the itch without losing the bet. Nah, Dirk, that would be... That's... Oh, it just moved. My hip hurt. Oh, it's still sore. That would be disingenuous. I can't do that. I mean, I'm an honorable person. I'm not going to play that game. Homie, don't play that game. Horse Crazies can't wait to do an interview with me. Well, I look forward to it as well. Refused to accept the submission. I answered everything in the affirmative. I don't know what's going on there, Karen. I'd try it again at some point. Alana says you should go to bed and get some rest past 1 o'clock. Thank you for everything. Well, not yet. Let's get to an hour and 30 minutes. And then I've got to set up the stream for Kali Creel. Kali and I will be on to talk about the Ferrayas. Thank you for the reminder, though, Alana. I appreciate it. I'm not blowing it off. USA Boer. Now, this is clear. This should have been given. That's what I said at the outset, US Boer. I said this is the kind of clarity that we needed on February 10th. And most of the information in here, is what I've been telling you all along. There are some slight variations, like the adults who are children 18 to 21. I said that's usually only if they're at university, which is what the law says, but they're obviously playing with it a little bit here. But all the other stuff, I told you, your parents are not your family. They're not your family, so means your family. And your girlfriend is not your family. Your boyfriend is not your family. You have to have a spouse. Anyway. I've also told you the Kenyans and the Amerikaners don't decide whether you go anywhere. Only Americans make that decision. Al Jazeera covered something 6 days ago. What did they cover 6 days ago? Yes, Charles, it would be unethical. Thank you so much for this important video, says Bonnie. You're very welcome, Bonnie. Please tell other people about it who are interested in the program. Please ask them to become a subscriber. They don't have to donate any money here. They don't have to super chat. They don't have to become members. I just ask for the subscribers to make the channel grow. That'll get the word out there. Auntie Floyd says, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, Blixem. What's the Blixem for? I have anti-inflammatory meds for that hip. Salom. I'm taking... meloxicam, 15 milligrams, not a very big pill. 15 milligrams of meloxicam. So somebody told me Aleve works really well. Get yourself, okay, so it depends on whiskey. Did your questionnaire last time? Well, some people are getting through it. Eugene got through it. Bonnie says, will do. Okay, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. David Mobsari, that's an interesting name. What are your thoughts on the fraction of the American right? Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes pushing Americans first and winning the debate while the kosher right sees that the current change. I don't know what the hell the kosher right is. What is the kosher right? What is that? Some anti-Semitic comment? I don't understand that. What is the kosher right? I've never heard of such a thing. Nick Fuentes, apparently a white supremacist, even though he's Hispanic, and but Hispanics are white, as I tell people. Yeah, and apparently anti-Semitic. I don't know. I don't follow Nick Fuentes. I don't find him even mildly interesting. And Tucker Carlson has lost the bubble. I mean, his pathetic interview, he gives, Vladimir Putin, an hour to rant on for a history that is just bullshit. I mean, I know more about the history of Russia than Vladimir Putin. He just makes the shit up. Yeah, no. Mainstream GOP pro-Israeli agenda. There's no mainstream pro-Israel agenda. Thank you for that. Never heard, but I've never heard that term before, David. Sorry. Yeah, well, I mean, the fracturing of the American right, I don't see any fracturing. I don't see any fracturing at all. Nick Fuentes appears to be the far right, not the right. And Tucker Carlson gave a pathetic performance. A pathetic, limp-wristed performance. He really pissed people off because he didn't ask hard questions. He just let Fuentes get away with the bullshit. So, I mean, what's my view on it? My view on it is that nothing. I don't give a crap what Tucker Carlson has to say. He never invited me on his program. He's a know-it-all. He was smart. He was doing some good stuff a few years ago, and he's kind of lost the plot. So it's like frickin', what's her name? Who's the Jew hater? What's her name? Is it Candace Owens? Is that the one? Yeah. She just says the most outlandish things. It's scary. I'm not taking painkillers, Nadine. I'm taking anti-inflammatories. Very different. That's not a painkiller. Lolita takes it for it back. Okay. Yes, Dirk Kutsi, we agree. He's just chasing sensationalism. He's lost the plot. Yeah, he was fantastic. Tucker Carlson was amazing. I was telling people, listen to Tucker Carlson 6 years ago. He was the only journalist in the world telling people about this viral outbreak in a town in China called Wuhan that was going to cripple the world. Tucker Carlson. First 2 weeks of January 2020 was telling people that nobody else in the world was reporting that. It was amazing. Great stuff. Back when he was on Fox. He's right about Ted Cruz being sold out. How is Ted Cruz sold out? Dancing Israelis present during 9/11, America's underlying loyalty to Israel, which is destroying their national reputation. None of that's true. America's undying loyalty to Israel is destroying their national... No, it's not destroying our reputation. No, Joe Biden destroyed our reputation. Joe Biden made people unafraid of America. That destroyed our reputation. Barack Obama made us look like a joke. A line in the sand, no further. Okay, now they gas their people. Now they execute, round up people, and murder them. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Barack Obama. Man started more wars than any modern president and got a Nobel Peace Prize. It's comical. It's comical. It sounds like you just hate Israel, David. I mean, if you just hate Israel, why don't you just say it? Stop beating around the bush, man. Just come out and say what you want to say. Tony says, thanks for everything. Okay, you're welcome, Tony. Drive carefully to work. Willy-nilly, we have been contacted and awaiting second call. Should we download this form to understand the questions? I don't know if you can download a form, isn't it? It looks like you fill in a questionnaire, so I don't know if there's anything that... and I don't think you can advance unless you answer questions, so yeah. Ben Stapleberg says, sorry if I was off topic, we worry. Ben, I missed what you said. Oh, no, you're not off topic. Should we be worried about shutdown stopping the program? Well, the program has been stopped. Travel, anyway. It hasn't stopped the program. People are still being processed. The queue is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger by the day. Over 1,000 people, at least now, maybe 1,500 people are now awaiting flights. Possibly. I don't know the exact figure. I'm just estimating based on how many people I know have been showing up and being processed. Yeah, probably 1,000, 1,200, maybe 1,500 people are now waiting for flights. They're still being processed, but they're not going anywhere. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And they won't go anywhere. Now, people called me out and said I was wrong because I said they're not going anywhere because they can't. There's nobody working that does this work for them because people are furloughed. And people said, no, it's because the presidential determination. I said, no, even with the presidential determination, they're not going anywhere. Well, presidential determination's done. It was written on 30 September, and now it's released at the end of October, and people still aren't flying. Crystal lost respect for Targles. Yeah. Why so sensitive? I'm not a sensitive man. You're asking silly questions. I'm asking you a question. Who's sensitive? Gosh, I don't give a flying flip. I don't care about Israel. I don't care about the questions. Dude, just ask your question. Don't beat around the bush. It looks like you're trying to disguise things. You're like, the kosher right. What the hell is that? That's like a dog whistle. Why don't you just say the pro-American lobby? Americans who support Israel. Why don't you just say that? What's kosher? I mean, that sounds like, some kind of dog whistle. Dude, there's nobody being sensitive. I didn't say you. Oh, see this bullshit? Here we go. The trolls come in here. I didn't call you an Israel hater. I asked you if you hate Israel. Man, dude, get some Kleenex or Q-tips. A little wax cleaning there. I asked you to come out and say it. I said it sounds like. I didn't say you did. Dude, you're not listening. It happens all the time, folks. People don't listen. Tylenol is not paracetamol. Tylenol is not. Tylenol is acetaminophen. And paracetamol is made from coal. It's made from coal. Paracetamol does nothing for me. Ugh. I said, that's right. Thank you, Paul. I said Candace Owens is the one who hates Israel. That's exactly what I said. Thank you for that correction. Just watch the program from the beginning. The Colonel explained everything really well. Thank you. What did Cronier ask a question I missed? Okay, Ben. Thank you. Okay. Charms, Neld. Welcome to the program. Question, I know there is no exact process following, but when one gets the email, does it take longer than a week before? It can, Refuge, and it tells you right there on the website, and I've been telling you all along. You know, guys, I mean, I get now, up till now, I'll have to look at my mail, but over the past several weeks, I get mail every day. Colonel, I've waited since May 12th. I haven't heard anything. What do I do? Should I submit another SOI? And I'm like, no, the website says don't do that. Even the Amerikaners tell you not to do it. Don't do it. Just be patient. Your time will come. And like another day later, I'm like, hey, Colonel, I got an email. Hey, I got an interview. Hey, I'm gonna call me in. I'm going for this. And it happens over and over and over again. And people just, they're impatient. And I understand why. Look, I get it. It's always been a waiting game, Ben. That's what it's always been, my friend. Always been that. I've tried to tell people that. Yeah, well, okay, when you say pickup voided, what do you mean by pickup? What do you mean by pickup? They are processing people at a breakneck pace. I mean, the left is crying. These aren't real background checks. These people haven't been vetted. I mean, they're coming to America after just a few weeks. This isn't real. This is bullshit. That's what they're saying. And in the meantime, I got Afrikaners going, this is so long. I'm waiting forever. It's unfair. Oh, why am I not there? Guys, it's neither one. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's what it takes. As a counterintelligence officer, as a federal law enforcement official, investigates people and does these background investigations many, many times in the past, I can tell you that each investigation is different and each situation, each case is different. Some are straightforward, easy. If you're 19 years old and you've never committed a crime and you've never done anything in life, we don't have much to check in. We do a little background check. You're clear. Done. If you're 45, you got a couple kids, you got debt, you got a job, you've done this, you've done that, you've been accused of that. That takes time. It takes time. Yes, Ben, you are repeating my advice, which has always been the case. Submit your statement of interest. Now, submit your intake questionnaire if you haven't been contacted or you've never done this. Now submit this, okay? And go about your life. I mean, I have people that, some of them quit watching this program because they didn't listen to me, who left their homes, moved to Pretoria to live in a guest house or hotel, burned through their savings against my advice, all because they had an appointment for an interview. I had one person contact me and say, we have no money left. I'm like, why? Well, we've been up here for 3 weeks. Why are you up there for 3 weeks? Because we're waiting to be told we can go. Who told you to do that? I didn't. I never told you to do that. Why in the world would you do that? Live your life. Live your life. If the call comes, the call comes. Then you make plans. You move quickly. It's crazy. I don't know what to tell people. I don't understand people make these decisions. You are not going anywhere until you have a plane ticket. Gerda van Leuven. Thank you very much for your membership. Welcome to the team. Vanna Kruger says, well, I hope to come America. It's a privilege they provide us with the help refugees and leave it to them to determine what decision. Everyone should stop complaining. Just go with. Yeah, I know. I mean, the complaining is just off the charts, man. It really is. And you guys don't know. I mean, I'm very polite and respectful in my emails, but sometimes it takes a lot of energy to be polite and not just ignore people's emails. Yep, exactly. Ben, that's advice I've been giving people for a long time. If she's over 21, married or engaged, she has to apply for herself. If she's 19, she's married, she has to apply on her own. My form went pretty quick. Been disabled for 21 years, never married, no kids, both parents dead. Okay, Martin. Released a statement saying 40% of GOP are under 30s are gripers. What is that? What is it? I don't know what that is. See, you're using terms. What the hell is that? Morning, Chris. Followed you from the start. You were spot on with all your analysis on past medicals. Thanks for your dedication. Thanks you, Charles. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, Philip, it's time for a song. Okay. I hope it's okay. New process makes the data capture on their side easy. Exactly. And they can move it around. They don't have to ask questions and write it down and type it in and go up and type a report. You provide all the information. You do most of the work. They just call you in for clarification and for further investigation. And it's all, and they can manipulate, move, copy, paste, boom, 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 boom. And it's easy for them to fill out a report and justify you. I think this is a very good development. David says, I love Israel, by the way. They trained Nelson Mandela in sabotage to take on the National Party. Without Israel, we would not have this beautiful rainbow nation. Beautiful rainbow nation? Dude, are you living in 1996? You're living in 1996. Eugene Nell. And you love Israel. Really? Well, Israel cooperated with the apartheid government, so I'm not sure what you're talking about there. They gave them helicopters and other things. So I'm not sure. Police targeted the Red Command, more than 2 tons of drugs recovered. Wow. Stressful. Okay, sign up for it, remember. Yep. Let me get to work. Thank you very much, Ben. I'd love to meet you. Well, I mean, you know, I do meet and greets. Most things you can sell within a week, and fixed asset house can be sold from the U.S. Exactly. You don't have to be there to sell it, as long as you got someone you can trust or an agent you can trust. Gene Kitching, it's crazy how many people have argued that email is in contact and still fill in the form. Well, then they're going to screw themselves. This says you've been contacted. I'll read it again. If you've already been interviewed for participation, okay, it says not email, interviewed. Do not complete the questionnaire, okay? It will slow down your consideration of your request if you've been interviewed. Doesn't say anything about an email, but an email has been contacted, okay? Use your time well, spend time with family. Exactly. What is Ann asking? I missed Ann. Hello, Ann. Okay. Colonel Cookie's back. I have no idea. I've never heard of that. America First and Christian Movement. Well, I don't know who they are. Obviously, I'm not very clued in with this far right. I'm a conservative. I don't know who these people are. Never heard of them. My guiding stone is right here. Where you at, baby? Come here. Come here. Oh, did I move it? Ah, where the hell did it go? Oh, it's always here. I must have taken it off. Anyway, my Constitution usually sits right here, but I was cleaning my desk. I must have moved it. Your brother managed to get through the questionnaire, but he just went back to the front page after he pressed submit button. No confirmation. Anyone else? I have no idea. You're 20, so I'm using language you don't understand. Groypers and Nick Fuentes fans. No, David, I can use language you don't understand. You know, it has nothing to do with age. Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea who you're talking to, man. I know I'm unfamiliar with the term. 20-year-olds don't know how to use the English language. Just make shit up. So anyway, Nick Fuentes fans. Yeah, I don't care for Nick Fuentes. I don't care. 30% of GP under 30s are his fans, according to New York Times. Nick Fuentes seems unstoppable. I think he's quite stoppable. People don't like racist. Conservatives don't like racist. We don't treat people that way. So I think he's very stoppable. That's just bullshit. New York Times, you believe a poll from New York Times? I don't. How many pages is that, Colonel? How many pages is what, Shirley? Clear warning not to reapply if interviewed already. Exactly. It tells you right there. When people screw themselves, they'll regret it. It says interviewed, not contact. Exactly. Yeah, no, it says interviewed. Yeah, that's what it says, interviewed. So, yeah, interviewed. I think I may have said contacted earlier. My apologies if that came out that way. Yeah, Nick Fuentes is not that popular. I find him repulsive. I don't really find him interesting. And Candace Owens has gone off the deep end. I can't stomach her anymore either. There's a lot of these people who claim to speak for the conservative movement. They don't. They don't. Tucker Carlson doesn't speak for the conservative movement. Nope. The one person that did have the ear of young Republicans wasn't Nick Fuentes. It was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Cook. Yeah, thank you. Help my hat off to you for level self-restraint professionally show it not flying off the handle at some things for the past few months. Yeah, no. Yeah, so, yeah, anyway, so, Charlie Kirk actually, and again, I wasn't a big fan of Charlie Kirk, not because I didn't agree with who he was or what he said, but because it was the arrogance of the Turning Point USA. They're a bunch of asshats. They're arrogant pricks, and they just disregard people, and they're just asses. So, but they're accomplishing amazing things, reaching young voters. So, I've always thought they're pretty amazing. But yeah, no, but that's my. So, Charlie Kirk was brilliant at what he did, but wasn't my cup of tea. But I listened to what he had to say, respect a lot of what he said. So, yeah, he's a smart guy. Charlie was pretty awesome, and his murder was horrific.
Voice like thunder broke the sky. He spoke for truth. He dared to try.
With courage burning bright as flame, Charlie Kirk was more than just a name.
thought they'd silence what he gave, but free speech doesn't find a grave. Charlie stands on in the hearts of the brave, in the fight for freedom, the road he paved. Though the coward struck, his light won't fade. Charlie stands on in the love he made. Faith in his eyes, a fire inside, for family, for values, he never lied.
The world grows quiet, but echoes stay. In every soul, he led the way.
Gone from sight but never far, he's the whisper in the stars, a warrior fallen yet standing tall, in every voice that answers the call. Charlie stands on in the hearts of the brave, in the fight for freedom, the road he paved. Though the coward struck, his light won't fade. Charlie stands on in the love he made. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on. Charlie stands on in the love he made.
Charlie Stands On, a tribute song that I put together a while back, folks. Yep. So, yep. And the assassination of Charlie Kirk while I was in the UK. Yeah, they celebrate assassinations. They're sick people. They really are. Milo Yiannopoulos is an interesting fellow, too. And I'm not a fan of Milo. I think he's a bit an oddball, but the abuse that he received from the left, who claim to love everybody, of course, he's openly gay, and that's why they hate him, because he's a conservative. Yeah, I've always found Milo to be interesting. I've got his book, but he was really kind of canceled out. What's my email? Could somebody put the email on here? One of the mods, please. Well, Dot Smiler, sometimes people feel they have no choice to make the best outcome. Curtis Lewa, the founder of the Guardian Angels, was not going to leave the race. And even if he left the race, Cuomo was not going to win the race. I'm not sure why Trump bothered. Mondami was obvious he was going to win. So, I mean, New York is gone. It's New Jack City. It's Islamistan. It's gone. It's been gone for some time. Ever since Bloomberg came to mayor, New York City has been in free fall. It's just, and the people who still call it America's city are just full of themselves. They're just full of themselves. Okay, well, I mean, if you can't find it, could somebody post it again? I mean, I don't see. Oh, there it is, just right above. Okay. Case number, I'm not doing the new form. Yeah, AJ Quinn, if I was you, I'd hold off too. That'd just be, Barbie's got to go. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. It is a beautiful song, Max. I thank you. My song has arrived. So, what Candace Owens' deal is about. Talk about going off. Yeah, no, I don't understand either, Charles. I mean, I don't think against Candace Owens. She went completely batshit crazy. David makes a good point. Charlie dying has left a vacuum, but he's only left a vacuum for people under the age of 30 who make up a tiny fraction of voters. And they'll always make up a tiny fraction of voters. The youth of the future. That's the biggest bullshit lie we've been told for the past 5 decades. It's all bullshit. When I was 18 and voting, I was the only one at the polling station. When I was 25 and voting, I was one of the few people. When I was 35, I was among a fair number of people. When I was 45, that was most people. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. That doesn't mean it can't be changed. But yeah, we hear this all the time. The only time youth have ever made a tangible impact in major elections was when Barry Obama ran for office in 2008. That's the only time. And they disappear all the time. Hoops with a consult yesterday concerning my sons. They have received their case number, although not yet called and was told they must not complete it. Oh, okay. All right, well, they got a case number. Yeah, well, I would not either. But David is correct. It's left a vacuum. And Nick Fuentes hasn't popped up now. Nick has been there for a long time. And, Charlie Kirk, or not Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson seems to be trying to push him to be replaced. He's not the guy. Lynn loves the hat. Yeah, I love the hat too, so cool. His life was taken away in front of his wife and kids. I don't know they were there. That's the story I keep hearing, but whether they're there or not really isn't germane. Hey, El Marie. Going to listen from the start, says Ann. Okay, cool. Milo's making a comeback. Okay, I haven't seen him lately, James. I just know Milo when he was being harassed at UC Berkeley. Peter Liebenberg says, thanks for the email address. Much appreciated. Yep. Folks, please remember, I'm a one-man operation, and I answer them as quick as I can, but I'm a busy beaver. Lots going on. When you're young and under 25, you don't care about politics. It's only when you've been around long enough to see it. It's only when you've been paid taxes and you see what they do with it. You're really tired of Byron slandering you in the refugee program. Did he slander me again? I have no idea. It's news to me. I didn't know that. What did he say about me? The email for this isn't there. What are you talking about? It's there. What are you talking about, man? It's there. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go to my channel. It's there. You just have to know how to find it. That's all. It's been there since 2000. Well, this channel since 2021. My original channel since 2006. Go to my channel. Okay. So on the More tab, you go to the More tab. There it is. And there it is right there. Contact this program. All About Africa 2021 is right there. Right there. So I put it in here. I put it in my description for the channel. It's there. And it's also down here. Click on that right there. All About Africa. So I don't know. 31 million views. 3,600 videos. 113,000 subscribers. This channel since 2021. My original channel since 2006. 20 years. Amanda, you worked in a kibbutz for you. I lived in Israel for 4 months. I didn't work in a kibbutz, though. I was blowing up targets in the Negev. Yeah, I like Milo, yeah. He had a cancer scare. Wow, that is pretty scary, Matthew. Dust Mahler, you haven't explained what he said about me. I don't know what he said. Gio's a moderator? When did Gio become a moderator, Ronaldo? Yeah, Gio's an asshole. Yeah, that's how I said it. He's an asshole. You guys are rude and disrespectful. What laugh was that? Now, folks, you can watch whatever channel you want. I mean, that's fine. For those saying Nick is not popular, I didn't say, David, okay. Okay, maybe you're talking to the audience. I didn't say he's not popular. I think somebody did say it. I said he's not the figure you're making him out to be. Yeah, he wasn't there. Yeah, she arrived afterwards, yeah. Look at the interviews he's done with Bradley Martin. This is the only reason he isn't huge because he's only allowed on Rumble. Well, David, there's a reason some of us aren't huge because we're oppressed. Yep. Yep. No, I don't put it in the description of the videos because it just attracts trolls. If people want to find it, they're serious, they go look in the description channel. That's where you should always get information about a channel. Every channel I watch, I mean, I find it interesting. I go and check it out. When was the channel created? How many videos have they done? Earlier, I mean, I don't know. I never saw them at the event, and there's conflicting stories about it. It really doesn't matter. I mean, he was murdered in a horrific fashion. That's the bottom line. Okay, David, we agree. He's a fringe aspect of the right, most likely will never be commonly accepted. Yes, that I agree with. I'd agree with. Before he was exposed as an anti-Semite white supremacist, which is how people are portraying him now. I'm not portraying him. I'm just saying I don't find him interesting. Before that happened with the Tucker Carlson thing, he was gaining more traction in the absence of Charlie Kirk. I would agree with you on that, David. 100%. Okay, David, that's fine, but you got to listen to what I say, man, and not hear what you want here, okay? Like earlier you said, I said you were, I didn't say that. I said Candace Owens was. She's the one. I didn't say you were. Just got to listen to what I say. People have a bad habit of hearing what they want to hear. Words matter. Idaho Garden Girl, man. You were here. What are you doing going to bed, man? You're 2 hours behind me. It's only 11:41. He did yesterday. He said nobody's interested in the program. Really said we should bog off to watch Chris Refugee King because he says you're favorable to it. Whatever. Thank you. I didn't know that. Whatever. Look, I'm not going to get into a pissing contest. I don't get what Byron's deal is there. Maybe he thinks he's not being rude to me. I invited Byron on the program. We started the Bribe Brews a couple years ago. We did a periodic show, the Bribe Brews, and people enjoyed our conversation. Yeah, we haven't done it in a while. Certainly not since the refugee program started. So anyway, I don't know why he hates the refugee program. I don't get it. That's his thing. No. I thank you, Dust Mahler. I didn't say you were trying. I didn't say, see, people hear what they want to hear. I said, I'm not going to get into it. I didn't say you were trying to start anything. And I appreciate you telling me about it because I didn't know about it. So thank you. I'm not claiming you're doing it. Right. Byron is Byron. I'm not going to get into that crap, He got pissed off at me because stuff that my viewers said. My viewers went on his channel and he got pissed off at me. I didn't say anything about Byron, so I'm not going to get into that. I will say there are social media content creators who are a bit full of themselves. I'm not talking about Byron. There are social media content creators who don't know what the hell they're talking about. There are social media content creators who are very popular and don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. That's just the way social media is, Court case, Erica Kirk there was charged with retaining his daughter. We watched the charge read in court. I don't know anything about that, Orlea. I don't know what you're talking about there. Orlea, where are you at? What's your prediction election results in shutdown? Who is the true winners, losers, percent of votes? What election are you talking about, Johann Feldbrandt? What election? I had an election last night. I won 78% of the vote. And so, I won 70%, but that means I won Republicans overwhelmingly. I won most of the Democrat votes too. 78%. When you win 78% of the vote, you're winning everything. Well, if he claims the refugee program is a disaster, he's flat out wrong. How is it a disaster? Okay, Kathy, how is it a disaster? How is the refugee program a disaster? Okay, how many South Africans received refugee status from a country in the world between 1994 and 2025? How many minority South Africans? Anybody want to take a gander at that? How many came over with refugee status from May till September 30th? About 400. How many are currently waiting to come over? Well over 1,000, probably 1,500. How many have been interviewed since August? Probably about 10, 12,000 or more. They're being processed since August. Anybody paying any attention to those numbers? How is that a disaster? For a program that wasn't anticipated, a program that wasn't funded in a fiscal year, for those who know how governments work, a program that wasn't funded in a fiscal year, a program in which funding for all similar programs was frozen by the President of the United States. Somehow they found money to bring all those people over here and pay for that and settle them over here. Thea is making wonderful living where she's at. Earl Langdon is doing well in his family. His son-in-law doing very well. He's an HVAC technician. Charles Kleinhaus is doing very well. The couple that were sent to Iowa who moved to Kentucky to run a poultry farm, they're doing very well. The family that was treated like crap in Dallas that I helped, get actual help, they seem to be doing well. The guys that went to Vegas doing very well. We've got Willem and Kara up in Twin Falls, Idaho. I've been there. I've met them. I've seen them. I've been to their home. They're doing very well. Their daughter is at university. I mean, who could afford? I couldn't afford to go to university. I had to get public assistance when I came to America, and she's in university in Idaho studying psychology. Willem's got a job. His boss gave him a company car. He took the beater car that he bought and gave it to his daughter so she could get to and from college, which frankly is walking distance. They're like Americans. They drive half a mile, something like that. And then Kara works for Chobani. She got a Baki I would love to have. Able to get a loan with a letter of, certifying she had an employer. That's it. I didn't even have to have a credit history. That's doing pretty well. How was the program a failure? How was the program a failure? I live in Utah, a couple miles from Charles' family was not there. Thank you, Jules. I didn't know you live in Utah. Wow. Why did you say something? I was just in Salt Lake. My goodness, we could have met up. Yeah, Johan, I don't know what you mean by the election. You got to help me out there. Harvesting chilies and separating seeds. Been listening. Okay, get some rest, Idaho girl. Orange thumbnail. 78% is a massive win. It is. It is. Main page for Refuge Missions says contact not interviewed under the process section. I have no idea what you're saying there, Gene. That is not what I read. Contact not interviewed. I think you're typing something wrong there. People are already leaving in droves. 40,000 people emigrating every year is not insignificant. No, especially when they're the talented people and the people with resources, money, and education and skills. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Chantel, you're welcome. Yeah, I would love to hear from Thea again, but I would too, but I haven't heard from Thea in ages. Let me take a look here real quick. Thea. Let me see. She hasn't read my messages. Yeah, I mean, last I heard from her, she laughed at... I was in the UK last time I heard from her. I haven't heard from her in 2 months. She stopped reading my email in September, or my message on September 26th. So, anyway, she's got a life to live. So, I'm not going to bother people. Lily from the Plus also doing well. Yeah, there you go. Byron must be Shark supporter. I don't know. Going to say this just once and not again. If people give the White Army any cock, I will not watch them. Like the Colonel from First Day, I watched him even when he cocked me out. It quits. But you were misbehaving. When you visit South Africa, I'd love to host you in the garden route. Well, that's awesome, Jacques. I haven't been to the garden route since 2022. It's time for me to get back there. But the next trip is going to have to be a long one. There's a lot of places I need to go that I haven't been. People demanding that I go to Oranje. People asking me to go to Petersburg. Also asking me to go to Nelspruit. So, and I haven't been to the Free State in a while. So these are all considerations for the next trip. The garden route I've been to, but also something to consider for the next trip. I don't disclose my travel dates because of death threats. It's not good operational security. So when I'm in South Africa, if I'm in South Africa, you'll find out about it. Dust Mahler says, I wish the program wasn't necessary in the first place, but I'm very happy. Yeah, I agree. I mean, did people watch my video? What did I say in my video? I said, it's sad. I don't want to tell people to leave. I mean, people should, watch my video that I did. I mean, honestly, I laid it out pretty clearly. That's what I understand why people, act like turds around me. I never said anything bad about anybody. So, let me see. This is it here. Hang on. I only got 8,000 views, and this is such bullshit, YouTube. Such total bullshit. So, here you go. Hey, folks, what follows is what I believe is never before seen footage. I don't know that anyone has aired this yet, whether the Dutch film crew has aired anything like this or CBS News, who also recorded live video. But this was recorded on my phone by someone who was recording for me, and I appreciate that. This is me at Opiplos in May of this year, just before the first refugees arrived in America. This is the same day that I clandestinely secretly met with Thea van Straten in Pretoria East about being a refugee. So BBC lied to the world, falsely claiming they had the first interview with the South African refugee. That's utter bullshit, total nonsense, fictitious, fabricated by a state-run propaganda outlet. The first interview ever conducted with a South African refugee was in... So, Nadine, I don't have an answer. Whoa, that's pretty scary looking, that pause. Pause a little bit. There we go. That was a little scary. I don't know what it costs for driver's education because most Americans get free driver's education in high school. It's a class. We take in high school. We pay nothing for it. So I had driver's education in high school in 1981, and I didn't pay for it. So I'm not sure what it costs, but you can get driver's education in America. I know in the UK it's very pricey, but I don't know about here. South Africa, in Pretoria East, when I interviewed Thea. Anyway, this is what I said about the refugee program briefly before I went to that interview with her. And what I've said has been wildly misrepresented. Therefore, you get to see unedited footage here. Thanks, folks. Cheers. All right, folks, please, if you could take your seats, we'll get started again. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. There's been a request for me to start shifting to the refugee questions. All right, let's be very clear about, God bless it. Let's be very clear about one thing. Again, I'm not an official of the U.S. government. I don't work for the U.S. government. I did get my retirement check from there, thankfully, which is nice that I get something. I'm not encouraging anyone to go to the United States. That's not my role. Is that these other mics or what? So I'm not encouraging. Okay. Close. Well, I've got mics everywhere on me. Oh, the speaker. All right, I'll stand. Yes. It's not working, guys. I couldn't find a spot. There we go.
You've just taken away 50% of my mobility. I mean, I engage with my audience by walking amongst it. I'm like Phil Donahue, and I have the white hair like he does too. All right, so that's probably lost on most people that aren't from North America, Phil Donahue. All right, so okay, so again, I don't represent the U.S. government. I think everybody knows that, but I want to be clear about that because, you know, when this refugee thing cropped up, suddenly people are like, hey, he's a refugee guy. I'm not the refugee guy. I'm just an honest person who tries to do what's right, moral.
David, I don't know about Israel training Nelson Mandela, and I don't understand why they would have done it because they were helping the apartheid government. So maybe they're playing both sides. I don't know. I'm surprised to hear that. But I didn't say you were spreading misinformation. You thought you. No, I don't think so. I don't know anything about it. But thanks for sharing that. If we go through the process and been accepted, how many term reports for our children should we take with just to get all the paperwork ready? I assume you're talking about your report cards for school. If you have transcripts, if the school provides them, if not, take the report cards. You know, they're going to place your kids, if you have school-age children, in school where you go based on what they think. In some places, they might give you a test, an education test, but that's not that common to determine the level for the kids. But typically, they're going to take the age of the kids and put them in with their peers or put them in the year behind them. And quite frankly, folks, I mean, if your kids have gone through the equivalent of 7th grade in South Africa, and you come to America and they tell your son he should go through 7th grade again, I would say go for it. There's no harm, no foul. Yes, your son's going to be a year older than the kids, and many of the kids in the class, but not all of them. But they're going to get to repeat material or maybe learn a different fashion than they learned in South Africa. And it gets them a year to get acclimated. And also, if your kids have any athletic talent, guess what? They're going to be stronger, faster, bigger, taller than their peers when they go through high school. So just saying. I can be scary. Can I be scary? This girl says, can't believe how many crybabies are in South Africa. Yeah, I would like to ask. Okay. Just think, okay. Saw so many cameras there, and I was not sure if we could take photos, so I took a few. I was okay. I don't mind. TV fame, says Hannes. This was before they teamed up with us in the 70s for nukes, so they probably had to change their art. Possibly. You're right about that, David. Possibly. David, where are you from? You have an interesting surname. Mobsari. I've never heard that name before.
And just each and every day for everybody that I can. That's my role. That's my goal. So, again, not the refugee guy. However, I can read the law. I do have experience. I was a federal law enforcement official as well, counterintelligence agent, and I have decades experience in the government. And unlike a lot of people, I don't rush to judgment on things that I see. So when I read executive orders, I actually read them thoroughly.
We don't have the trick.
I look at what the points are. Okay, so let's talk about the refugee program. Again, not asking anyone to leave this country. I'm heartbroken that anybody would want to leave South Africa. It's such an amazing, beautiful country with incredible topography, a very strange and fascinating history for all the peoples, whether it's Zulu or Enda or Afrikaners, Boers, whatever you call yourself. This is an amazing country with such great potential that sadly, in my view, much of it going to waste because of the way the policies are set up. And maybe they're well-intentioned. I'm not going to dispute that, but the outcomes are what matter, and the outcomes are atrocious. And there's no need for it. This country, make me dictator for a day, and you'd all be happy. Things have changed.
Somebody whistle.
No, seriously. So I'm not here to encourage you. And again, I will answer one question before it comes up. The Federal Emergency Management Agency does not handle refugees. There are no FEMA tents. This is also not asylum. Asylum is a legal status. You can only apply for asylum with the United States if you were legally in the United States. And I give the example of someone like Mikhail Baryshnikov, Bolshoi Ballet, comes to America, doesn't like communism. I want to be an asylum seeker. Well, he's there legally, and he's fleeing from his unjust government. He can apply. But asylum seekers by law are not allowed to work in America. So in many respects, they're a drain on our economy. Well, we kind of violated that law last 4 years, but hopefully that's sorted out now. Refugee status is something very different. Normally, refugees are people who flee a country under the international accepted definition of refugee and go to another country for safety. People who flee from Darfur, they go to Chad, they typically register with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and become registered refugees. Oftentimes, the conflict continues and they can't go home, so they seek resettlement elsewhere. They get in a queue. People also go from Somalia to Kenya, the world's largest refugee camp with 600.
So a couple questions. Your son wants to join the Army. You just have to have a high school diploma or equivalency to join the Army. I'm not sure how the Army views him a trick. Probably they might consider it as, God, look, I'm a little fat there. Anyway, was I involved in the Iraq War? I was in the Gulf War, and I was involved in the Iraq War, but not in theater. I worked at the National Security Agency at the time. Yeah. So when people talk about the war and they talk bullshit about it and how there was no plan, I know better. I was deeply involved in the planning. It just was never executed. Now I have a camp here. I don't know what to tell you because it says if you've been interviewed. It sounds like you have been interviewed. So, I mean, based on that now, Happy Camper, should think the wording that you would want to put in a statement. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, but yeah, if you haven't heard from him, yeah, so email to let me know that he did get confirmation that he submitted a questionnaire, okay? Let who go do her thing? Who's got to go do her thing? If you received an email, okay, Alan. Well, Alan's saying you shouldn't do it. So, I mean, look, guys, okay. You sent me an email. I'm looking at WhatsApp. Okay. Okay, so let me address something here. There are Facebook comments going around from people who have South African or Southern African surnames saying they used to work in the resettlement program here in Pretoria and they sacked all of us. Now they want to bring in Kenyans to do all the work we were doing. Well, first off, they're not bringing Kenyans in. It's either been done or they're doing it remotely. Second, that's a lie. See? This is people stirring bullshit. So South Africans who panic and don't pay attention are falling for it. I'm going to turn that off. Give me a second here. They're falling for it. Let me explain something to you very quickly here, folks. See, you're being led by the nose by cock prodders. The people who are saying that in Facebook, no doubt did work in refugee resettlement, but they didn't resettle South Africans. And the Kenyans weren't brought in to resettle Somalis and Congolese and Burundians, which is what the South Africans did. But that program was frozen. They opened it up for Afghans and for Iraqis and a few others, but not for the rest of the world. So those people aren't doing any work because there's no work for them. And they're lying because they're too stupid to know what's really happening. So let me explain something to you. There were people working who were getting money from the U.S. government through a vendor to process refugees in South Africa to go to America after they'd already fled from Somalia or Chad or Darfur, which is in Sudan, or Congo, and went to South Africa. And they're destination shopping, and our idiots in this country are letting them come here. No, that's not refugee. That's destination shopping. There were people employed in South Africa to do that. They no longer have jobs because that's not being done. They're bum hurt. They don't have jobs. So now they're lying and saying they're bringing in Kenyans. And this is all bullshit. It's total bullshit. I didn't see any tweet, Smaller. I didn't see any tweet, so I don't know what you're talking about. Siza Kayla Kanyile posted a comment on Facebook saying, I used to work for the resettlement program here in Pretoria, and they sacked all of us. Now they want to bring Kenyans to do the work we were doing. And people are falling for it. People are suckers. Suckers. These are people that worked for resettlement, but not South Africans. Anyway. Oh, you sent it to me in Telegram. Okay, I'm looking in the wrong place. Hang on, I go to my Telegram. Alan, yeah, I have to be reminded on Telegram because I'm not in there as often as I ought to be. Okay. Okay. Ah, shoot. It won't let me expand. It just zips through it. That's so tiny. Maybe if I save it. Save as. Okay. Come on. What the hell is this? Okay, now let me see if I can find this. I don't see anything here. It says that's the status of your case. That doesn't say anything about. I don't see anything there, Alan. Maybe I got the wrong Alan. No, I don't see anything from you there on Telegram. Sorry. Anyway, I'm not going to spend time on that now. So, where are we at here? Platinum Reard says, thank you for being a reputable source for factual information. That being said, if somebody can watch YouTube, they have internet access, and you should do their own research. Trust. Yeah, no. Again, so you're not hurting my feelings. I've told people you don't have to trust me. I give you the source. I tell you where the information from if I'm able to share the sources. Yep. Yep. Only applicant just complete. Okay. We never let South Africans work in South African cases, especially if you exactly. That's why people are. Look, I don't want to say people are stupid because Geo 1984's feelings are hurt. You'll get hurt, but people can really be blinded and not pay attention. Yeah, it's there were no South Africans working before the Amerikaners on this program for South Africans because there was no South African program. The people who got sacked weren't working South African cases. They're just bum hurt they don't have jobs. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but they shouldn't mislead you. Yep. Kenya reception was poor and call was dropped. I did receive my case number via email. Okay. There you go. Please look at the... Huh? Phenocrate gel. Who's complaining about a cap? I've covered this at length. Not tonight, but at length. If there's a cap, why are they still continuing to form? Because because 7,005 people haven't come over here, and 7,005 people aren't going to be the ones coming from South Africa. Some of those are coming from elsewhere. Most will be coming from South Africa. Also, caps don't mean anything. Joe Biden took 160,000 Afghans in 3 weeks. The cap for the whole year was 100,000 that year, or 120,000. And he took in 160,000 Afghans in 3 weeks. Busted that cap right out the window. Yep, so I wouldn't worry about caps. Well, I open it. It says nothing about telling you can't open a thing up. It just has your timeline for your case. Dentist. All right, Leon, have a good day at the dentist there. Anyway. All right, well, I have been going at this now for 21 hours. So I can't go to bed yet. I've got to set up the stream for 8 o'clock, which is in less than 6 hours. So I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. It caused me to sit on the side rather than flat. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure. Send me a note, Charles. I don't know what that cream is. Okay. All right. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you later. Don't forget that colleague Cree will be on the program here in about 6 hours. We're going to be talking about the Ferrayas, the 44. The 44 who wish there were 4,400. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for being here. All right. Thanks for letting me know about people saying stuff about me. But I'm not losing any sleep over that. But thank you for sharing. All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Collie Creel interview, too. I haven't talked to Collie in a couple months, so looking forward to that. Good night, everybody. Take care. I'm actually starting to get tired. My batteries are winding down. Cheers.